How do you do again? I'm George. I was just sitting on my sofa, looking at a table I have, noticing a rock on my table, and it brought to my mind the rocks that were brought back from the moon. No, the rocks that were brought back from the moon, they discovered, did not resemble the rocks that are on Earth. The silicates in the rocks brought back from the moon were different than the silicates in rocks that we know of on Earth. So the scientists were a bit confused. They were baffled. They were scratching their heads and wondering why the rocks from the moon didn't resemble the rocks on Earth, because we've always believed that the moon came from the Earth. Scientists believed that when the Earth was first forming, a piece of the Earth shot off, and that became a moon. So we were certain that the rocks on the moon would resemble the rocks on our planet, but they discovered it wasn't the case. The silicates were different. So they decided to theorize. They theorized that Earth must have had a primitive atmosphere at one time, and during that time, the rocks that existed must have had similar silicates to the silicates in the rocks that were brought back from the moon, because they were baffled about why the rocks were different. They were certain that the rocks would resemble the rocks here on Earth. I believe, so actually, we could say that the moon was not part of the Earth, didn't come from the Earth. The rocks are similar. I believe that the moon broke off of a planet somewhere out in the universe that was forming, and the planet started out in a molten state, and the piece of it broke off, traveled with the universe. As it came towards our galaxy and traveled through our galaxy, came towards our solar system, it was cooling off, the molten material. By the time it got close to our planet, it had cooled off tremendously and solidified and got caught in Earth's magnetic field and remained caught in Earth's magnetic field and became our moon. That's what I believe. Because they were certain that the rocks brought back from the moon would resemble rocks on the planet, but the silicates were completely different, and the scientists were baffled. So that suggests that the moon didn't come from our planet. It must have come from somewhere else.